Well, looks like we're starting to get that first little fronts through of this this hurricane coming in. Starting to drizzle down. Well, I didn't walk 50 yards from my room to the truck and she's coming down. Welcome back to another episode of Bass Year, y'all. A fun weathered out day. I had planned to hit up to Savannah and get some good fishing in at a new spot, but as far as the forecast is coming in, it's already exactly 12 o'clock noon, and we're looking like those plans are probably gonna get canceled out. With Hurricane Irma hot on our tails, we're pretty much on call for evacuation here on Fort Stewart here in Georgia. As many know, I do have family and all of my friends in South Florida, North Florida, Central Florida. I got people all over the state. So yeah, it is kind of some anxious, nervous energy time with the Cat 5 hurricane coming through. And not to mention the other two storms that are forming out in the oceans as well. But to stay positive, we are looking forward and just praying, hoping that the storm comes through, doesn't cause us a significant damage as they talk about it will. That's the other thing, you can't be listening to like the news, man. You think the world is coming to a straight end. You start listening to the news, you think the hurricane's gonna wipe Florida off the map, which it is something powerful and dangerous and a force not to reckon with. So a couple things today. Start off just right away off the bat, we have this oldie right here, and this is the old school Revo Premier, the second model I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. This one has 24 pounds of drag. This is a nasty reel, I think it's about 6.5 ounces. It's when the reels first started coming out with the EVA grips, back before carbon fiber handles were cool, as you can see there, no carbon fiber. And this reel was top notch back when it came out, man. I think it priced at like $250, 300 bucks. I remember buying a couple of them on eBay back in the day. Well, this thing's been hiding in a barn for the last probably 5, maybe 6 years, and she is gunked up. As you can see in the video I attached, I mean, there is dirt, dust, grime, probably in every crevice possible in the reel. And it's really just beat to heck and just needs probably a good, just straight maintenance, you know, a good cleaning. I've talked about this, and this is one of my most popular videos I make, because I am one that truly does believe in reel maintenance is the strongest thing to keeping any reel alive. Now, I've had reels from $80 fail on me, and I've had reels at $280 fail on me, but I've also had reels in those price ranges, even below $50 to $350, last me well over 5 years. And I do believe it is because I take such good care of my stuff. Doing the simple maintenance, cleaning these reels is just like what you would do to cleaning a gun, or shoot, take it up another notch, doing an oil change on your vehicle. It's the simple maintenance that makes the stuff get that much more longevity. Most is really coming down now. Camera doesn't really do it justice, but look at that line of the storm. It's just like, look at that like line difference in clouds. It's pretty crazy. And as soon as I turn right, you're gonna see just straight sunshine. like it never even rained down here, but you look in the rear view and it's straight darkness. Crazy southern weather. I'm going to get some lunch now. The job site's gonna be tough in this rain all day, but hey, that's the Army life, right? Go Army, be Navy. We're heading out there now, get some food in my system. We're gonna take off, and we'll see you guys here probably later in the day. So I'm gonna do one of those fancy hand things and see where it leads us to. Well, the whole battalion is off, so we're still out there making form work, even though we got a hurricane coming. But hey, you know, it's the Army way. On the bright side, we got a package here. I was able to run over to the mail room and grab something from Hooked Up Baits. That was in order. Finally got that in. Real quick shipping from them. Came from Fort Worth, Texas, here to Fort Stewart, Georgia, which is about a 3-day shipping, which is actually relatively real quick at USPS first class. So appreciative on how fast that came through. So we'll give this a quick rip open. We got 5 decals here, Hooked Up Baits. Check them out, hookedupbaits.com. You guys know I like throwing stuff on in the back of my window, throwing stuff on the boat, tackle boxes, whatever, so that's cool. Definitely gonna put one of those on the MacBook, load that thing up. So it's probably just some big Georgia fish. Really good for this stained water here. Green pumpkin, chartreuse tail, jerkbait right here. That is pretty gnarly actually. It's like a ribbed, solid hook slot, a good size head on it. And that's a good size jerkbait. That's pretty gnarly. So 2 style jerkbaits, which are pretty awesome. This color is going to absolutely destroy with these fish schooling up. And a good black and blue Senko Again, just another gnarly bait. And these are 6-inch, big profile, definitely gonna bring us some big bites. And that's a laminate, so it's black on top, blue on bottom. This is pretty gnarly. And last but not least, it's like a little, not a trial pack, but these frogs here, something he's working on. So told me he'd include one of each color just to get it in there. And these things are a solid price, especially getting one of each color, couldn't pass it up. Those are pretty gnarly. They're supposed to float. He says he's still kind of working on it. If we get to the water, there's some weather rolling in, but it looks like it might hold up for a couple hours, which is exciting. I gotta get back into work now. I was able to get a little break for dinner. I'm gonna take off, gotta do a little bit more work. It's humid as heck out here in this Georgia heat. You guys here in South Georgia know it. Do another one of these fancy hand things, gonna go change, and you will see you right back here in the truck, ready to go fishing. And boom. All right, so we're back here obviously in a different situation. Now it is later in the day. It's 6:24, so about 6:30, getting off of work now. A little rice cart taking off in front of me. I don't really know, this vlog was going in like 3 or 4 different directions before I really figured out what I'm gonna do with it. And I really wanted to discuss this Abu reel. I really wanted to discuss those baits that I got from Hooked Up Baits. And I wanted to discuss the future of the next couple videos coming up. And then as I got into it, as the days go by, starting to see a lot of these guys, especially here in my region, a very important topic, and obviously that is the huge storm system, Hurricane Irma. Now in my system, I grew up in Central Florida, right outside of Orlando, all my home lakes, West Lake, Toho, East Lake, Harris Chain, Butler Chain. I grew up fishing all those things. I mean, I'm well aware of the conditions of a hurricane, what they do to the areas. I have plenty of friends, plenty of other anglers my age and older that are down in South Florida. Obviously in a little worse of a situation with that storm coming through. Where I'm living now is in Southeast Georgia. Again, definitely a concern with this location, with this storm coming as well. So I wanted to just sit down, and I'm not gonna do it while I'm driving here. I'm gonna finish this off. I'm going to actually pick up some pizza, and I'm stoked about that. I'm starving, had an awful day. We're up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's just terrible. So I'm gonna pick up some pizza. We're gonna get back to the room, discuss some of these issues with the hurricane, and just give you like my insight on what's going on and what to expect the next couple of days as far as videos are concerned. Obviously, if worst case scenario happens, what I'm gonna be doing about that. So let's go pick up some of the fine and dandy Domino's pizza, shall we? Ooh, definitely. So this isn't 7 o'clock traffic. That right there, there's no red light. That is all people turning in to get gas in this gas station right here. That's absolutely slammed with people right now. Like, these guys had all week to prepare for this, and they decide the day before the evacuation starts to go and get fuel. It's always the last minute stuff that makes everybody freak out and get scared, and this is what adds to people's anxiety. I mean, look at this, it is absolutely swamped. The place is never this busy. It's kind of crazy to see places this busy. Personally, myself, I don't really need anything to take care of myself. I've got water, I've got beers, I've got food, plenty of food. Not to mention I'll be northward in Atlanta. Myself, I got a full tank. I filled up yesterday knowing that that was gonna happen right there. Usually you're gonna get a big scare about 72 to 96 hours outside of a storm like that, where the big scare initially starts. And we're about 4 days out here in Georgia. Just no problem with getting too prepared, getting prepared too much, I guess you could say. But you're coming down to where everybody on the installation is going to be getting prepared, so why would that surprise you that that place is that busy? And I'm driving by my little Domino's pizza just like, yeah, should have done it yesterday. I'm not no immediate threat. I don't have family that's in any immediate threat, but I do have a ton of friends, and they are on my mind and are in my thoughts for when this big storm comes through. Because this Hurricane Irma is not to be taken lightly, it is to be taken seriously, being it's the biggest storm recorded in history. That's a pretty big deal. You can't blame all those people back there for all that fuel and all that stuff they're buying. I was honestly gonna go in just to see how busy it was, but I mean, that sounds dumb. I didn't even feel like going and just looking. I got that beautiful pizza in the back seat there. About to go munch on that. Alright, Hurricane Irma from a military's perspective. Myself, I live on a military installation. I'm in the United States Army. Boom. And there's a couple different things that we ensure to make sure that our soldiers are safe. And not just our soldiers, but our soldiers' family and spouses. Myself, not married, don't have a family, single, easy. I do have family in Central Florida, located just outside of Orlando, actually. They've been living there since I was living there. Now, the last hurricane that came through there that I remember, I believe, was Charlie or Ivan. I can't remember. I was pretty young back then. But I do remember a hurricane coming through there, and I do remember when it made landfall, it was like a category 2.5. Like, it was bad, don't get me wrong. I mean, it still stirred up some destruction, but nothing too significant. Power outage for like 2 days, nothing crazy. I just play with my Legos and play with some fish and stuff, play basketball inside, whatever. This thing, this monstrosity of a storm, biggest recorded ever in history, is definitely something not to deal with. Now, it made landfall earlier this week in St. Martin and islands around that area and caused complete destruction, and total thoughts and prayers out to those people. It's actually pretty devastating to see what has happened there. When it makes landfall towards Florida, southern Florida, central Florida, it's going to be around a category 4. I've never sat through a category 4, but I can only imagine. Now, the precaution that I'm putting out to this video is not to you telling you, oh, this is what you buy, this is what you do. It's not about that. It's just giving you my outlook on where I'm at. I'm stationed, like I said, in southeast Georgia. So people, I got a few questions on Instagram, what does that mean for myself? For the installation, the only person I can tell us to actually evacuate is a commanding general, the overseeing officer of the entire installation, not division, not brigade, nothing, the entire installation, garrison. Order, so to speak, to go ahead and evacuate. Now myself, I'm gonna be up in Atlanta for a wedding either way. So this weekend I was gonna be north up in Atlanta, so none of that was a true concern. But what does that mean when I return back for work on Monday? Well, a couple of things. I could come back to destruction. I could come back to the power out. I could come back to no Wi-Fi, any of that. And I just want to make sure that that's clear on this video. I know Monday we talked about releasing my awesome fishing video, and it seems like things just keep roadblocking. But I have an awesome 2-day fishing video with Garrett Colbert, G Colbert Fishing on Insta, of us just tearing fish up on the Butler Chain of Lakes in Central Florida when we took over the Lucky Tackle Box Snapchat when they let us get on that for the day. And I'm really been trying to upload that, and I have some concern on uploading it on Monday, and I'm thinking it's probably not going to get put up. But the entire weekend, if I have enough power in this laptop, and I'll have power up in Atlanta, I don't have really any concern until about Monday, Tuesday. But I'm going to be able to knock out tons of videos, video editing for that following week when, if we do lose power here on Fort Stewart, I'll be able to get all these done. So yes, soldiers do evacuate installations. Sometimes they don't. When a commanding general tells you to evacuate, your order is to leave the installation and get far away as you can. As a civilian, the governor can come in and say, hey, evacuate, but you don't really have to leave, and no one's going to help you leave anyways. They're just going to help you in the tragic event that you need help getting out of your home or wherever you decide to stay. And in this initial storm, I think it is smart for everybody to get as far north as they can, because when that thing does strike landfall, it's going to be pretty tragic in a few areas more than others. So this is more or less just finishing this vlog in like an update, man. I didn't want to just go like 4 or 5 days of not uploading. I've been pretty consistent of 3-4 videos a week, so I didn't want to go 5 days of no upload, and not so much you guys being worried, but just like, what happened, what's going on. So it's an update here, and of course I'll be sending updates through Instagram and everything. And if Monday falls out good, I'll probably do a short vlog the day before and then immediately release the fishing video of Garrett and I. And it's an awesome video. I'm telling you guys, you're gonna love this one. I'm excited to put it out. I've been working on it for a while. I'm gonna dig into my Domino's here. I'm gonna snag some pizza. This is just a short little quick update for you guys, just to know what is going on. This is a massive storm. It does have a lot of people nervous here in the southeast, and it's definitely not something to mess around with. So fishing will be at a little hold for this week, but this time next week, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll be expecting of seeing things back to normal, but definitely going to be some barriers to hit in the following days, especially the between 48 and 72 hours following the hurricane's passing. So for any of you guys that do have family in the areas that will be hit, of course my thoughts are with them. Like I said, I've got plenty of friends in the area, plenty of family in the area. So my thoughts are with yours. If you are concerned about your family, just make sure you stay in contact with them and just make sure and get updates from them. Make sure everything's okay. If I can help you with anything, I am planning stuff for reliefs in Florida for the event that something tragic does take place and people need help. I am planning stuff for that. So yes, if that is a question. If you do need help for myself, being that I am so close here in southeast Georgia and I'm only a couple hours from Central Florida and only a couple more hours from South Florida, I am in this vicinity and I will be able to help furthermore as the days pass after the hurricane. Again, just a small little update for you guys. I've been digging into my pizza. I'm hungry. It was a long day. I'm gonna sign you guys out here. Have an awesome weekend this weekend, guys. Get out there, get some fishing in. Make sure you bring in some big pigs. Make sure to tag me there on Instagram if you do. We'll see you guys right back here Monday on the Bass All Year channel. Again, sorry I didn't upload that fishing video to you today. Just wanted to push out this update. I feel like there's a couple of questions from y'all, so I wanted to go ahead and hit that. If you have any more questions, concerns, go ahead and throw them in the comments section below, and I will be on them all tonight and all day tomorrow, Saturday, before the wedding. Again, get out there, guys. Have an awesome weekend. Be safe. Be stress-free. Catch you some big ones and tight lines. We'll see you guys back. Can't thank you enough for viewing today. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.